And welcome back to another episode of Jimmy Time. This is episode 3. Today we have topics ranging from the inspirational to the sexual. So let us go ahead and start with our first topic, inspirational people. Who do you admire the most?
The 3 people that come to mind for me would be, the first one is Conan O'Brien. He's a comedian. He's a comedic genius. I've loved him. I've admired him. I've worshipped him ever since I would watch The Simpsons. Yeah, I knew he was a writer for The Simpsons, and I think he helped shape The Simpsons become the great iconic comedic television show that it became. He's one person for sure.
Real fast, tell me your plan about.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So this is my plan. Since I love Conan O'Brien a lot. If he listens to this, which I hope he one day will, I actually have a couple of what is it called?
Souvenirs?
Yeah, I have a couple souvenirs that I took from his stage on the Conan show. We went to go see that. We went to go see Conan.
I want to say in March. December.
It was in December. We went to go see Conan, and I took one of his spotlights that he has. He has a little spotlight. I took it. I took what I think like a work glove, and then I took a Warner Brothers water bottle, and I was like, oh, I have to have a souvenir. And it was hard. It was hard to I had to ninja my way into taking the little spotlight.
Yeah, I just took a picture, but German went all out.
Yeah, and so my plan is if I ever meet Conan, to give him back his spotlight and his glove. I lost the bottle though. I'm sorry, Conan. And so I could.
Well, next time we want to go see him, they're not gonna let us in.
I know.
Hey, we heard it on the podcast. You took our stuff.
Now you said you had 3.
Yeah. Okay. So Conan was the first one. The second one is Conan. Conan again. Conan again. No. It's Darren Brown. I don't think he's that known here in the States, as he would say. But he's really big in Britain. He's English. And he's a magician / mentalist / I don't know, psychological manipulator, I guess. But what he does is he says he mixes magic, suggestion, misdirection, and showmanship to present not just magic, but influential mental techniques. And he makes them really, really interesting. One was he talks about this thing called negative suggestion, and that's a big reason why when you tell yourself not to do something, and then you're more compelled to do it. Like for example, if I say, "Don't think of a black cat," what do? You think of a black cat because the command "think of a black cat" was there in the sentence, and he's phenomenal. He's a really big influence in not just entertainment, but in just my everyday life. Things that I've read from his books and I've seen from things I've seen from his show, I will try to apply it and just even my everyday.
And I think there's some of his episodes are on Hulu.
Watch Darren Brown on Hulu or just YouTube.
And Conan is on TBS.com. Yes. And you had a third one?
Obviously, Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien. Again. No, I apologize. It's Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, the comedian. He's also extremely witty. He's really smart. He's very funny. He did the Chappelle show. Just that alone, his stand-up is really good. I know he was on Star Search. I saw that. He was really good. So yeah, those are my if you know what that means.
I was hoping one of them was going to be John Goodman. I know he's an inspiration too.
John Goodman. No, I just I try to look like him physically. I don't try to be him in any other way.
For mine, I would say the first off, for those of you in Southern California, who still listen to the radio, Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Pinsky. Yeah. Just because he's how he is, because
He's sexy.
like he's sex, but it's crazy. Like he has like 3 children, like triplets, and they're in college. Like it's cool how like when I have kids, I want to be able to raise 3 children and send them to college. But anyways, but yeah, psychology wise, yeah, he's up there, and that's about it. Like my mom, of course, mom, if you're listening. No, it's fine. But yeah, that's it for me. Short, simple. Yeah.
I guess I would say for myself, I I never really put any thought into who I admired or anything like that. But I guess well, the first person I would say, like honestly, would be probably my brother, because he pretty much whatever he set out to do, he went out and did it, and he achieved some goals that he's been wanting for like forever. So, and he achieved them. So I find that like inspirational, that maybe if he was able to do that, then maybe I have a chance to achieve the goals that I want to. I mean, same blood, maybe some of that came to me too, uh, but yeah, I would say he would probably be the biggest in my life. And I guess musically, well, for those of you who don't know, I'm a musician. I play in a band, and I also write my own separate things. I look up to Mike Ness from Social Distortion a lot when it comes to music, because he's just he's 50 now, or close to 50, and he's still writing amazing music since the 70s till now. So that's just amazing. And I just really I really relate to the stuff that he writes about, and then the way he arranges his music, and it's just, for me, it's just amazing. So I look to him highly when it comes to my music. It really influences my writing as well. And I think, yeah, those are the only 2, I believe.
I like how we have a varied set of people in fields and sort of thing. My inspirational people come from religious theologians and gay rights activism. For some of you that don't know, this coming the 11th of October is National Coming Out Day. And so a few of the people that I would probably say I admire the most are Bishop Gene Robinson, which is the first out Episcopal bishop. That he actually wore a bulletproof vest to his ordination when he went to accept, because he's a bishop now. If any of you know how the Episcopal Church works, kind of like the Catholic Church, but it's a little more liberal. Okay. And then there's Randy Robert Spots, which is the grandson of Oral Roberts. For those of you that don't know, that's he's a televangelist from probably the 50s, 60s, started a university. His grandson is from Texas. He goes around and does performance art, and actually sets up like a living room. And him and his now husband, because he recently got married, they just have a daily life in a set up living room. It's like a box, and it's a see-through box, and they just sit there and they go through their daily life. It's called the gay agenda. And so they go to rural places to show people what 2 gay men do in their daily life. So all they do is iron clothes and watch TV and have coffee and that sort of thing. And the last one would probably be Rob Bell. This is a theologian that has been, well, a little bit of controversy. He came out with a few books. The latest was Love Wins, which he actually questioned the existence of hell, whether Gandhi was in hell or not. And he got a lot of backlash from that. And so I don't know. It's just people that go out there and do things, whether people are going to, I don't know, like it or not. So Dan Savage is another one, but he's pretty crazy and he doesn't care what
Dan
people
Savage, that's the guy from the Mythbusters? Is that? No, that's Adam.
say. Yeah. No, that's a different. I understand. I know the confusion. Yeah.
Read up on your TV knowledge.
Inspirational people. But with that being said, our second topic has to do with religion, which we kind of talked about briefly, and psychology, mental illness. Danny, can you go ahead and explain that a little bit?
Well, I'll open up with the incident that happened to me and my mom, like three weeks ago. I took her to her doctor's appointment, right? And while we're waiting, you sign in, and we're waiting in the waiting area, and then there's a grandma with her 4-year-old grandson. And then so like, oh, he's looking at me and my mom. We're like, oh, we say hi. I go, hi, what's your name? And then also like he kept saying is, I'm a girl. And I'm like, no, like what? And he's like, yeah, I'm a girl. Well, and like I'm like, no, like I'm a boy. We're boys. We're male. And he kept, I'm a girl. And his grandma came up to us and started talking to us. And she was telling us that at home he'll put on his sister's dress, clothes, and puts on makeup and everything. So and like we couldn't change his mind like at all. So and then my mom kept like, oh, like Danny, tell like help him or something. But I was like, well, I can't. It's like, well, you're going to school for psychology. Help, like no, like the first thing they tell us in class is don't go diagnosing people and blah 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 and stuff. But which I don't. But
you're not Dr. Drew
yet. No, but yeah, like but my first thing that came to my mind was gender. What's it called? Gender
identity disorder.
Yes, thank you.
But just a really quick like side note.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that when like just because you're studying something, people think that you're like an expert in that field?
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I was studying law, and then so like my family's like, oh well, like help me like with this like subpoena. I'm like, what the hell? Like I'm just just a little side.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, but that's the first. Thank you, Charlie. What came to my mind was the gender identification disorder. And then like my mom started getting mad at me because she knew like there's obviously something wrong, because that's not normal. At least I've never met a small child claiming to be of the opposite sex. And then the grandma was like, yeah, we even have to lock the makeup in the closets because he'll get to it, and he's a girl, and he says he's gonna marry a guy because he's a girl. And then in order to diagnose that, it has to be for 2 years. That child has to be showing recurring behavior and stuff. Yeah, but my mom kept getting mad, but her solution was go to a church. Like, oh, go to church, they'll pray for him, and then like, yeah, she was being good-hearted and trying to
Obviously
help.
was like she had good intentions.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, as she always does. But yeah, that's the topic for today, is that how churches tend to have like stigmas to like mental illnesses and disorder.
Yeah, they I guess what's it called? Claim that maybe a certain psychological disorder is just like a demonic possession.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And then as my mom was telling the grandma to take him to a church, I'm just thinking they're just gonna screw the little kid up even more, because they're just good. Their first thought might be like, oh, there's like a demonic possession or something.
Like you being a psychology student, the first thing they tell you is don't try to diagnose something that isn't. And that's you that you're learning the field.
No, yeah,
and
yeah.
then so someone that's completely can't even you can't even diagnose what like gender. What was it?
Gender identification
disorder. I imagine that could like maybe even traumatize the kid, right? It's something that he feels that he is, and then they're saying it's the devil.
Yeah. So I don't know if your guys' takes, if your guys' church or other people's church, or if you guys witnessed something like that or gone through that yourself.
Well, I mean, in this particular story, I mean, I understand the worry of the grandmother. Was it? I know it's being more common. For example, from a transgender aspect, that again from in a kid that tends to happen. I don't know if you've talked about this in your classes, but that's more common than not that kids associate with other genders. But again, I do understand what you're saying about the grandmother trying to have the child change and sending them to a religious institution, right? And her probably thinking that it's a, I don't know, a spiritual thing than an actual physiological or sociological, right? So I think there are instances of abuse, spiritual abuse, with things like, I don't know, exorcisms and like, for example, people thinking, oh, just pray for someone that's addicted to drugs.
Oh yeah. They always think that's the answer for everything. Just pray for it, or if it doesn't go the way they want, it's God's will, which is like, well, that doesn't really prove
Yeah.
anything. It doesn't say anything. It just means it's happening, and you should probably get some kind of help, psychological, medical, whatever. You know. Sometimes like kind of pisses me off when that's because like my family is religious, but I'm not. So they always say stuff like, oh God, God wants it this way, or it's God's will and all that stuff. And I always keep my mouth shut around them because I don't want to start arguing with them about this. I just I keep my mouth shut. But what inside it's like, that's that does not make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And things shouldn't think that it's going to be left into the hands of some superior being,
Right.
over us.
My concern is where do you draw the line in terms of when it's harming someone or harming, like it's just innocent and it's harming others or harming yourself.
The one thing that comes to mind would, I don't know if you guys remember the whole incident with the singer Selena, where because of her like,
Okay.
I guess her religious views or her parents' religious views, she was like hospitalized, and I guess they couldn't give her like a blood transfusion because of her religious beliefs.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong. If I don't know.
I'm not too familiar with that's part of the story of Selena.
Oh well, that's
That's the
from
reason you're
my
saying that's the reason she
understanding.
died.
Yeah.
Was because that does tend to happen, that because of your religious beliefs you don't go and take medical treatments, right? Like there are the stories of the parents that don't allow their kids to get treatment, and all they do is pray, and the child dies, and they're charged with some sort of
Like child endangerment or like neglectful parenting.
Yes. So again, where do you draw the line? Because again, I'm not here to say, oh, don't have your religious beliefs, but at one point, it does tend to interfere with other things that can have really negative effects.
Yeah.
The other thing that comes to mind, thinking of, I'm thinking of a reference here, and I know it's out of it's really Joan of Arc. You guys know about Joan of Arc? This was the female crusader in France.
Yeah. She dressed up as a soldier,
as a man, to fight because God spoke to her and told her, you need to like liberate the French from the power of the but they eventually do call her a heretic and they burn her. So at one point she's being all like, oh yeah, we're following you because you're claiming you're listening to God, and then all of a sudden I think she starts saying that she's going to be the next king of France, and then they call her a heretic. So it's kind of, it sucks.
one French person that actually could have used them.
But because again, back then there was no definition to things like schizophrenia. So, but you can say this was maybe a case of she was schizophrenia, right? So I don't know if what you guys think was that a good call? Like, should they have gone to war over this woman claiming that she spoke to God and she successfully defeated the English? Or instances of like the Salem witch trials, right? Witchcraft was just a woman being educated. That was seen as, oh, that's witchcraft. Oh, we have to get rid of you, right? And because I think it goes past just science, like just anything.
And how that's weird, because that was law back then. Like if anyone accused you of being a witch, you could have if the people were gonna you could have been hanged, and then like I don't know, the government was like, oh, that's fine. Which is I think that's when it crosses the line, right? Like you're people are dying, or just even being physically hurt, or even psychologically. Like it's all like that's, for me, it's when it crosses the line.
Yeah, let's not hurt people.
basically.
That's our motto for this week. But I mean, I understand this topic is pretty serious. We are talking about religious beliefs compared to medical practice, and it's something that we need to kind of observe and watch out for, right?
At least we're now aware of it, and you can like watch out for it.
Okay. Any last comments from anyone? Moving on to something a little more lighthearted. This has to do with relationships. We like to talk on the Jimmy Time with about relationships, and this has to do with friends without benefits. Can you be friends with someone that you may be attracted to, but maybe they have a significant other? Is that possible?
I do believe it's possible. It's not like you want like for myself. It's not like I want to sleep with every woman I know. Obviously you're gonna respect that this person is in a relationship, and you're not gonna go and try to mess that up.
Right. Does anyone else think it is possible to be friends with someone you may be attracted to?
I think yes, right? Because I think we're attracted more than one to more than one person, like at a single time, right? Like just because you find the person attractive doesn't mean you're gonna do anything, or anything's gonna happen. I mean, I have a girlfriend and I love her, Crystal, baby. Shout out to her. But I do have a lot of female friends, and a lot are attractive, and I know they're attractive. But I can still be friends with them. Everything's cool. Nothing, There's I know where the line is, and I know not to cross it.
Anyone else?
Real quick. Yeah, I think it is possible because I've been in a situation where I have a female friend that I've known, I say now, for about going on 6 years, and if like I like towards the middle of our friendship, like I started, like I always found her attractive, but I started feeling like, oh man, like I wanted to be more than friends, right? And then, but at one point she made it clear that wasn't gonna happen. Like there's no relationship between us. So I kind of had to like put it, like I had to get past that. Like, okay, well, if I can't pursue what I want, then I'm not gonna mess up this friendship. So I again, I think it is possible. It's up to you to get past like the situation, like how in my shoes.
But I do think that there are people that they don't care. There's always going to be those people that they don't care, and
They don't care how.
they don't care if you're in a relationship, and
Oh, it doesn't affect their friendship whether you're whatever.
yeah, and they don't care. I mean, they could be your friends, but there's also people that they don't care you're in a relationship, and they still try to have some sort of like intimate situation with you.
Okay.
Okay, for example, to see what you guys would do. Your friend, one of your close friends, has been dating this chick for like 5-6 years, and then they break up, and then your friend's girlfriend starts to hit on you. What's up with what's your guys' call on that?
If your ex's friend or your girlfriend's friend? Oh, your friend's girlfriend.
Your friend's girlfriend.
So it's his ex. It's his ex. I don't know. I mean, it depends how close you're with a guy. Like, if you're really close, then I wouldn't do it, right? But if it was just some guy you kind of knew, then it's all fair game.
Right. I agree. Yeah, if it's a close friend of yours, then I would not. I wouldn't even try. That's off limits right there.
Like bro code number one. Yeah,
bros before hoes.
That,
that thing. We have to bring that up.
It's there. It's there. Like, regardless, every single guy, we're like,
yep.
We know.
And like every single guy listening is like, yeah, bro code.
Shout out to How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, now the other question I have has to do with: would you ever tell a girl, "Let's just be friends"?
Well, yeah, if I wasn't like into her, right? Yeah, because I've had that happen already. and I had to say, yeah, I can only see us as friends. That's as far as we can take this. And as crushing as that would be to someone, at least they know up front. You're being honest with them, and they don't have this hope, this false hope of something ever going on between you.
Okay.
Yeah, I've said that a lot of times. Well, not a lot of times. I'm not trying to
Heartbreaker over here.
I'm not trying to flip my own heart. No. But I have said it, and it's just sometimes it's like I don't even really mean it. Like, I don't want to be friends, right? Like,
it's just a nice way out.
Yeah. And I'm everyone out there, you've done it, where you're like, oh, let's just be friends, and you have no intention of ever calling or seeing the person or anything, but you just say that just to be nice.
Now, do you think that's because we live in some sort of polite social dynamic society?
Yes, I do think we are too sensitive about
feelings.
A lot of things. I mean, I mean, if I could, I'd just tell the girl, you know what, lose a couple pounds, right? And don't be so needy, and don't call me while you're drunk, and then maybe, right? No, but no, I mean, I don't know. I believe that you should, if something about a person it bothers you, you should tell the person, because then they know that that's something that could bother not just you but other people. And then because I don't know, some people they get kind of embarrassed to tell me things. Like the other day I was at work, and then there was some guy like, hey dude, you need a mint. And then I was like, oh thanks, but he thought I was gonna get offended. And I wasn't. I was like, I'd rather you tell me now, and so I don't have fucking shitty breath the rest of the day, and then I take care of it, and then I'm better off that way.
Okay. Anyone else?
A short podcast.
We'll edit that out.
This is not going to be as long as the other one.
That's fine. No, we're remember minimum 30 minutes.
Minimum 30? Well, we're about to hit 30.
We have one more topic. What do you?
No, I know. I'm not saying, oh, it should end now.
Count down? We're counting down?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, back to our show. This last topic has to do with that Chris brought this up a few episodes ago, and this has to do with sex. The question is,
how do I lose my virginity?
That's going to be an hour of podcast. No. The question that Chris posed a few weeks ago,
you got some money,
was which is better?
After the podcast. Wait. Sorry, go ahead.
Which is better?
Right. Barebacking.
To explain to our listeners what that is.
Of course. Well, barebacking is when you have sex without a condom, any protection. You're going in barebacking. And so my question would be, which is better, going in without a condom, without protection, or being protected?
Just really quick, I think that term is a little insensitive to our lesbian listeners. Barebacking, how do they get to do that?
There's these things called dental dams.
And they put it on their backs? Or what?
Wait, well, are we? No. Hold on. We do have to remember that there are strap-ons, and that you do need to put on a condom sometimes. Yes, it's a high. It's no.
Puracell.
You mean Purell?
You need to lube it up.
It's a Puracell. That's the battery.
Duracell.
That you said Puracell and Duracell. Yeah, I think
Purell and the battery acid from a Duracell, and
yeah, that's gonna be a little caustic, but okay. We'll burn off some.
She won't get pregnant, I'll tell you that.
Well, you said it was 2 women, so I doubt they'll get pregnant.
Oh god, yeah, that's right.
Okay. Anyway, back to what we're saying. Okay, so your definition is intercourse, not necessarily oral, anal,
intercourse,
and the female.
Oh, we can go into that if you want. But I was just talking about
vaginal intercourse.
Well, okay. Intercourse, vaginal intercourse.
So, and this is from a pleasure standpoint. So, what do you guys
pleasure
think?
standpoint?
Well, pleasure, I would say just going barebacking. But I would say if going to not so the pleasure, more of the safety precaution side. Like if you're one that sleeps around every weekend with different people, you shouldn't be barebacking. Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, but what about if you're in a well, Herman wants to say something before we go on.
Serious shit though. That shit feels good. Like, amazing. Serious shit.
No, yeah. To add on that, yes, it does. I agree. I remember the first time I tried it. There was, a big difference. Yes. I wish you guys were in here right now to see our gestures to this, but for me, I believe going in bare is, as far as pleasure goes, it's the best way to go.
For those that don't know how it feels, think about it like this: if you beat off, all right, imagine doing it with a condom, right, and then without it. What do you think would feel better, right? Right, like there's a difference, and there's a difference.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't. I don't think it is.
Scratch that. Not beating off. A blowjob. Imagine a blowjob without and with a condom. That's like like a minute.
But again,
comparison.
This is assuming that our listeners have had a blowjob.
And if you haven't, you have to go out and get one. Kids, come on. You're 11 years old. Come on.
Yeah, if you're 11, you should not be listening to our Jimmy Time. You should probably be.
We're a little mature for them, but still too immature for
I mean, but we did bring up a good point. I know. Okay, no, I feel like the majority of anyone you ask from a pleasurable standpoint would say it's probably better without. But we have to also consider the health risks. Like we did talk about a little bit about STDs and getting pregnant. But what do you think is okay? For example, the one thing that just does come to mind is I don't know if you guys knew, but in LA there's a law. This is now a law that porn stars, people that make pornography, have to wear a condom. Like you have to wear a condom in your films. So do you think that it should be mandated that you have to wear a condom, whether the people are clean or not, and whatever they do in the film? Do you think that the government should enforce that?
I don't think so, because it's still a choice between the actors, I believe, right? Before that, it was still the choice that they could be protected or not. I'm pretty sure it was still up to them. It wasn't like the director said, "Oh no, it has to be. You have to go in raw, bare, or whatever." So I don't think that the government should mandate it. It shouldn't be mandated that they should have to wear condoms in their scenes or whatever, because I mean they've done it before. They've been doing it, So why all of a sudden would it be changed?
And also, who watches porno with condoms on? I mean, I like, it's funny, but yeah, like I'm pretty sure that the pornos with the barebacking, they're a lot more popular than the pornos when people wearing condoms. I mean, I'm sure that's like in the industry that's probably like a big factor.
But we live in the days where everything's a fetish now. So there might be that small group of people that have a fetish with pornos and condoms. I don't know.
I honestly think the reason they actually enforce it now, I think it's the same mentality as, for example, not smoking on camera. Right? If you look at movies and look at TV shows, if you notice, people don't smoke. I mean, unless you're watching Mad Men, which is supposed to take place in the 60s where everyone smoked. But they kind of made the industry made a decision not to show smoking to not encourage viewers to smoke. So I think the thought behind pornos that have condoms is to show people you should probably use a condom when you have intercourse. So again, I understand. I that's kind of the thought behind it. But again, I honestly don't think that it should be illegal, right? Like you can be fined and I don't know, even maybe thrown in jail for showing a film where you're barebacking. So barebacking is now technically illegal on camera. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Actually, I saw a documentary where I think that's been for a while, but the industry still they'll still have people do it.
bareback. That's what I heard.
So not they don't care if they get caught or not.
No, I think because of that, and that's why I think like it makes so much like without it. Like that's such a big thing, I guess, that they'd rather take the risk of getting fined or getting their production shut down or whatever.
Okay. So what if you think about it from the standpoint of maybe anyone else in their job, like if you're maybe someone that prepares food and they don't force you to wear maybe a hairnet or a mask. Do you think they should not have regulations like that?
Well, I think that's a little different because you're actually giving that to other people.
Okay.
Right.
Well, you're saying as opposed to in porno, you're not giving it to other people?
Well, I mean, it'll be within the two parties or however many parties are in whatever you're into. Bukkake.
Oh, right. So again, I mean, it is you can't really control some of these things. You can say, oh, look, I don't have diseases, and look, I have all the papers to prove it. But what if that one actor finds a way and they end up having, I don't know, gonorrhea or AIDS or something? You don't. Does anyone else have anything to add about
Bukkakes?
Well, if you want to talk about bukkakes, now is the place and the time, I guess. I don't think we're
Kids,
gonna.
don't look that up.
We probably will not dedicate
look that up.
a topic to bukkake. Just so you know, that's with 2 Ks, by the way. In case you are. Well, you just said Darren Brown. Don't do it, and they're probably gonna do it. So, right? Don't go and type this word into your Google search.
Plus, Google, they'll hook you up.
You should Bing it. You should probably go on Bing.
I say
Bing.
Google. Oh, there was that that versus thing of Google and Bing.
Yeah.
I tried it and then I got Google. So
Yeah, I got Google too. I don't know where they got this whole 2 versus 1
Yeah.
Bing over Google.
I know Bing.
Lies. Advertisements lie to you. But anyway, that's that for all of our topics. If anyone else wants to add anything before we wrap this,
Please, try unprotected sex. It's good, but be smart.
Yes,
Be smart.
Make sure that your partner.
Make sure that your partner is not infected with a disease, a venereal disease, and make sure
STDs.
STDs.
I do have to correct. Venereal disease.
I'm sorry.
It's not the 1950s.
Okay.
No, well,
Alright.
it's not just that's. Well, yeah.
Birth control too. Also, birth control. I mean, not just a condom, but like if you're going bareback and you're with your girlfriend, make sure she's on either the pill or preferably the shot, because that you don't you can't forget the shot unless you don't go to the appointment. But like throughout that time or after you got it, you it's already in your system. So that I will emphasize, kids.
And then there's the tree, right? The one you insert. What's that called? Does anyone know?
Diaphragm.
No. You surgically.
I think I know what you're talking about, Charlie. I don't UTI.
The UTI.
No, it's not UTI. UTI is urinary tract infection. I don't think you want to put.
No, okay,
yeah.
but I understand. I'm pretty sure people out there know what you're talking about too. But
I will look it up on Bing later.
Okay, yes, Bing, not Google, right?
I don't know if you guys heard, but I forgot who showed me. I think I reposted the article where I think it's in Europe where they start developing some pills that men take that
It kills your
kill
sperm.
your sperm. So it's kind of like
that's
the
right.
male birth control pill.
But does that have any
Side
permanent?
effects? Oh no,
Yeah,
was it a
side of-
surgery? Who I showed one of you guys. It was a surgery.
Oh,
I don't know. Do you remember, Charlie?
I feel like it was some sort of sponge or something. It was some device.
called a vasectomy,
No.
which has been around.
No. It was less invasive. than
Castration?
No, I said less invasive. It's something that's easily reversible, whereas a vasectomy is not that easily reversible. Like you have to surgery twice.
so and it's possible to have it reversed.
Yes, it's easy. I think they just put a
Tell
stop.
me where to sign.
They just put a stopper in your vas deferens.
It's like a circumcision.
For those of you that
easily
know your
reversed.
anatomy, vas deferens is where the semen exits the body, not the urethra, but the vas deferens.
Oh, okay.
They block the they add some sort of gel. I think it was a gel. It was a gel.
It was a shot, didn't they? Yeah, they inject you with the shot, and that's good. I think I read it was good for 3 years. And then, if you ever want to change, if you want to have kids, go back, and they give you another shot to, I guess, get it out of your system or dilute it.
And another good way to learn about the reproductive system, there's a song by NoFX called My Vagina. Everything you need to know in that song.
Oh, okay, but there's no pictures.
But it's very descriptive in the music. Just
Okay.
listen to it. It talks about deferens and vas deferens and other things.
Okay, that's how you learned.
That's how I learned. Without that, I wouldn't have, I would still be a virgin right now.
So we could cut all sex health ed programs in school.
And just play that song.
Oh, okay, that's good to
I
know.
think that would help kids a lot more. They'd want to listen to
Give
it.
them a NoFX album and you're good.
Yeah, that and any Barry White, I think.
Yeah,
Barry White.
Oh yeah, you gotta set the
They'll learn how to set the mood and then do it right. But you guys didn't answer my question. How do I change the fact that I'm a virgin?
Oh, again, we're going to dedicate an entire podcast, Chris, to have you lose your virginity.
Step number 1, buy a hooker. Step number 2, have sex with a hooker. Step number 3, do not pay the hooker.
Grand Theft Auto that, dude.
I thought it was just don't be a bitch.
I don't know. Nowadays, women like bitches. I mean, yeah. If it wasn't for that, I would still be a virgin right now.
Cool. Thanks for the information.
And with that, we are
That is the end.
concluding this
This is the
week.
last podcast.
I'd just like to point out the difference between our topics today. It was really weird because at first we started off very serious. To the end, it was kind of serious, but we just made way more fun of it.
Well, no, I mean but it is a serious topic. I think that there is a rise in teen pregnancies because of the fact that less teens are using contraception.
No, but I think it's because also the viewers too, the guys listening, they're always giving us like, hey, you guys should be a little more exciting, a little more fun, and thank you guys.
Yeah, well, just quick, what Charlie added, how there's more teen pregnancies. Tying in with the other topic that we had earlier, the church. You think, I believe we talked about it before, where how churches tend to, emphasize
Abstinence.
There you go. I can think of
Yes.
it. Yes, where as if you're a rabble kid at church and you go out, they don't really the church doesn't really educate you, and that's why you see a bunch of pregnant chicks in church. So I don't know.
That's pretty true. I do believe that just promoting abstinence and not really, going into detail with these kids because they're afraid of I don't know what they're afraid of. They think I don't know, they just don't want to know about the world or something. But yeah, that's I believe that church is a pretty big factor and the reason why there's a lot of teen pregnancies now.
But at the same time, again, if you look at the statistics that show that young people, less and less young people are going to church, yet why are more and more young people getting pregnant? So I don't think it's misinformation. I think it's the lack of correct information.
Right, the lack of correct information.
Right. So I think if we actually had, like we said, instead of maybe abstinence only programs, which I mean nowadays it's not as popular as it was maybe 5-10 years ago. A lot of schools emphasized an abstinence only.
Yeah, they have those purity forms that you just sign it. And
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, at school.
But I think a lot of those. It sounds to me like a lot of those programs have been cut because again these programs existed under when the Bush administration.
They're probably unpopular amongst the elementary kids.
Well, that's the other issue is that they didn't teach it early on. They taught it middle school, 7th, 8th grade.
Yes.
After they had sex, then they were like, oh well, this is what sex is.
Well, I mean that you do have a point. Where I think what was the minimum age for a male in the U.S. to lose their virginity was I think 14. 14. It was 14, 15. It was pretty. I mean, these are freshmen and sophomores in high school.
Yeah.
So, and I think for the female is 16, 17.
Sounds about right.
That's the age that you lose your virginity. So again, and we're teaching this when college. Wait until college. Human sexuality.
Right
course.
after they're having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer. I was 18, 19 around there. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks
why
for
that
just-
information was important, I don't know. I'm not telling you.
that
Oh
was
wait,
a-
I told you I was
That
a
was a
virgin.
TMI moment. TMI.
No. Since we're sharing, I was 17.
Why is a competition all of a sudden?
Wait, why'd you hand me the mic? Yeah, 17. I think that's the average age. I don't know.
Well, if I'm gonna curve the I'm gonna be the one that curves. I think it was. How old am I now? I don't know. It was a few days ago. It was. Again, speaking of a late bloomer, I mean, I didn't have my first drink until I was 24 or 25.
See, that was a sin right there. I'm not religious, but that was a sin. You have to be at least 11 to have your first,
Because
first
is
drink.
it the Hispanic thing? I should have had my tequila shots.
Yeah. When I was a baby, they'd I think put tequila in my bottle so I could fall asleep.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and
Is
that's why I am the way
That,
I am
that does
now.
explain a lot. That does explain fetal alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol. I guess that'll be another topic on some other podcast. But I want to drink now.
Scotch.
And I realize this podcast it doesn't have that many of the.
Yeah, I know. My computer died, so there's no sound clips. I had good ones too.
We had to make them on our own.
Yeah.
I think it's from watching all those sports videos.
So Charlie, how old?
I'm 27. It's happened this year.
Dun dun dun.
Hooray for Charlie! Yeah.
Hooray for me. Wait. Oh, well, let's not get technical.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it was. We'll see. Well, I'll have to do the math. We'll see.
And you'll tell us next time, right?
Well, if we don't edit this out.
I don't think we will.
Well, we do have to edit this a little bit because some of the answers happen after when we concluded the show. So, let's actually conclude the show.
Okay.
I see. Before we end, tell them the topics ahead of time for next week.
Topics next week.
Next
Okay,
week.
I was going to do that in
Spoiler
concluding
alert.
the show.
Oh, what?
No, this is all going in.
We're not going to edit. There's going to be a director's cut, which is so lazy that it's not going to do anything. Okay, so that concludes this week's Jimmy Time. Hopefully you tune in next time when some of our topics will be
Dun, dun,
the
dun.
rising gas prices here in California, near-death experiences, what would you do in a zombie apocalypse, and what are your views on stadium evangelism. So hopefully you all tune in next time for another installment of Jimmy Time.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.